Hey friends, so welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have part 2 of my Christmas decorate with me video. In this video, I'll be decorating my entryway and my new Christmas tree with more vibrant colors. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram for more updates. And without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to start on my entryway, which is the one you're seeing right here, and I emptied out all of my fall decor and I'm going to place my garland. So I have this flocked garland that I purchased a couple of years back from Walmart, and I really liked using it on a console table. I make sure it's pretty fluffed, and so I'm gonna start pairing it with other things. I really think flocked items can really highlight your decor or bring a lot of contrast without needing to use so many different things. So with that garland, I also purchased these 2 Christmas trees that are pre-lit. I love them. The only thing is that the cables don't really reach the outlet, and so I had to use an extension, and now I have to figure out a way as to how to cover that, which hopefully I can share on a future video. But I'm making sure that the lights on the mini Christmas trees work, and once that's done, I'm gonna proceed and add some details for decor. I found this Believe tabletop decoration at Michael's this year, and I thought it was beautiful, but now that I see it in my house, it almost looks like the Barbie logo, which is funny, but it does make a good contrast with the flocked garland, so I'm going to place it right in front of that. Just to bring a little bit more of dimension at the bottom, I am putting 2 candlesticks with candles in the back. They're black, they match the edge of the mirror, and I think it looks really nice. And then just to complete and tidy up the look together with the mirror and the other details I have in this area, I'm going to add these blackberries, not really blackberries, but berries in this black color. And those stems, I added probably like a total of 4 stems, as you see right here, pointing outwards. And just because I had them and I thought they looked cute, I also added some flocked pine cones. So this is one thing that if you are working with flocked things, garlands, Christmas trees, it is even better if you add flocked pine cones or flocked ornaments, because they go with the vibe, if that makes sense. So I'm adding a few on each side and 2 larger in the center of the garland. Right across, I have this empty wall, and I placed that command hook, which is really not that visible in person. I'm adding this wreath that I got from Walmart 3 years ago, and originally the wreath does not have the bow. I added that myself when I purchased the wreath, and I'm still using it. I'm just making sure I can fluff up that ribbon very well. And then on the bench that's right below, I am adding this pillow that I got from Hobby Lobby, again, like 3 years ago, and I'm pairing it with a white and black pillow. I think the black one brings a lot of contrast, but just needed to figure out how I wanted them placed on the bench. So let me tell you the story about my Christmas tree. Part 1 of this Christmas Decorate With Me series this year is me decorating the Christmas tree. I gave you all the pro and designer tips to make a beautiful tree, and I use a color palette of champagne and touches of burgundy. And while I loved how that tree turned out, it just didn't feel much like me or what I wanted to see in my Christmas tree this year. This year, I was craving for a festive, fun, and extravagant Christmas tree, and that's what I'm gonna go for on this one. That's why I undid the Christmas tree, and that's why I'm redecorating it in this video. I understand that the mixture of those three adjectives is not for everybody. Not everybody likes an extravagant Christmas tree, and that's okay. Keep in mind that this is a Christmas tree for me, and sometimes it's really hard to create content and stay true to the style of decor that you want to go for. So that's why I figured I will give you the idea that I give you on part 1 of this series, which is in gold and in champagne. And then also I am going to place a different Christmas tree in my house that I'm going to do with neutral colors because I think it'll look nice in my office, and I just left the festive and fun Christmas tree for the living room. I thought I was gonna be able to resist today with this sweater, but no, it ain't happening. I gotta go change. I am sure you have figured this one out by now, but I am working on a candy cane Christmas tree. It's not all going to be covered in candy cane decorations, but I'm working on the topper. And for the topper, I went with these oversized candy canes and these oversized stems that I actually found at a specialty Christmas store. I do recommend visiting one if you have one in your area because you can find more specialty items, oversized items for a almost the same, sometimes even better price than Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So I'm working on the topper. I added the candy canes around the top of the Christmas tree. It took me several attempts to get those in the way I wanted them, not picks. So in order for me to turn them into a Christmas tree topper, I had to put kitchen skewers at the bottom. You know, just making it work. And then I have a selection, or my selection of stems, lollipops that I added in. The important thing that you can do here is make sure your colors have contrast with each other. Make sure you have those stems fanning out, and make sure you pick long stems for this, because the longer the stem, the better of an effect for the topper you're going to achieve. Lastly, for a fall effect, at the bottom, I added those mini candy canes. They come 3 in one stem, and they're kind of like fan out, which creates that nice cascade effect at the bottom of the topper. Surprisingly, I am not going to use any ribbon on this Christmas tree because I am gonna go with ball ornaments in a variety of different picks to create the effect that I'm going to be creating in this tree. Now, I do want to say something. Back in 2021, I did something kind of similar. I made a collar of round balls around my Christmas tree, and many people loved it, but a few people told me it was too much. And I mean, I get it, but I love my red balls. I mean, what can I do? I'm bringing them back this year, but I'm gonna place them in the Christmas tree in a different way. I'm going to not put them as linear as I did in the past. I am going to make sure they fall in a more organic way. And I'm also going to make sure to push those balls in the back of the Christmas tree so that it looks like they are kind of like flowing out for a more whimsical effect. And the way I'm making this is with floral wire, but you can use ornament hooks. Just make sure you have a loop formed with the ornament hook. And all you do is that you basically tie it up with a stem that is far back in the tree, and then you fold that stem so that the ornament stays in place, and then you push it backwards even a little bit more. And throughout this video, you're going to see me walk backwards and then come back to the Christmas tree to readjust things. It does take time and patience, but I do recommend that every time you place a piece on your tree, just take a step backwards and see how everything is looking. I actually did rearrange this kind of like line of ornament balls once because I just wanted it to look a little bit different, and that's okay. Once I was happy with how those started to look, I proceeded to move to the next part of my Christmas tree, which is decorating the upper part of the round ball. So I'm kind of like imitating a candy cane here. And so I want to break a little bit with the white. And so I'm using these garlands that I got from the specialty store for $9 each. And the idea here is that I don't have to use a lot of stems or picks because these garlands are going to fill in a lot of gaps and spaces. I'm still going to add some picks. You're going to see that in just one second. But I'm just trying to arrange these in a way that you can't really tell it's a garland, pushing that main wire towards the back of it and opening those leaves and stems really, really well so that I get some dimension out of it. And it is worth mentioning as well that this idea is not one that occurred to me. I did see a Christmas tree like this on social media and I thought it was adorable, and that really filled up the inspiration that I had to create this Christmas tree. So now I have those white berries or picks right there, and those also took me a minute to figure out how I wanted to position them along the garland. You're going to see me rearrange them a couple more times in this video, but essentially I'm just creating the illusion that these are the garland, and they do bring a lot of dimension as well to everything that's going on in the tree. Once I was happy with how that was looking, even though I'm about to rearrange those stems once more, I'm going to go in with some white ornaments at the top, and I'm going to make sure to place one at the bottom of the topper and then go in diagonally. And then I'm also going to add these giant candy ornaments that I got from Michael's this year. They're also going to fall on the same kind of flow that everything below is going. So this year, my mom came over to spend a couple of months with me, which I was so happy about. And one day I actually went to Hobby Lobby and I took her with me. I was filming one of my videos for you guys that I posted in my channel, and she saw all the Christmas decorations and she started remembering about her first Christmas when she was married. So I didn't grow up in the United States, therefore my mom's story is not here in the United States, or it didn't happen here. But she was telling me how my mom and my dad could not afford a lot of Christmas decorations when they were newlyweds. She actually got her first Christmas tree from my grandfather because he used to sell them. And so he gifted her one, and you know, she didn't have ornaments or anything like that. And she got really creative out of an old dress she used to have from the 80s that was in this gold fabric. She created kind of like bags or Santa bags out of that fabric and made her own ornaments. And I still remember those ornaments. Actually, I didn't know that was the nature of them, which is quite funny because she kept them all throughout until I spent my last Christmas in my home country. So I thought that was a really sentimental story to share because it just proves that when you want to celebrate Christmas, it really doesn't matter how much money you're spending in decorations. It only matters the intention you have to create a beautiful tree for your family. And that's the message I wanted to give you today. You know that this could not be a Christmas video coming from me if I wasn't talking about this. Yes, I like the extravagant Christmas tree, but I was not always able to have an extravagant Christmas tree in the past. I had to work with what I had. Dollar store items, passed down ornaments, which by the way, I still have those ornaments. I love them. And I am going to talk about how those are going to go into this Christmas tree that I'm decorating right here. So yeah, my friends, always remember Jesus is the reason for the season, and decorating your tree is a cause of the joy of the holiday, not the opposite. So that's my message for you today. Okay, I took a long tangent right there, so I'm going to go back to explaining what I'm doing in the tree. I added some oversized bells that I got from Hobby Lobby a couple of years back, and I added them diagonally, flowing around how the balls are flowing on the tree. And I made sure that those are sitting on the stems of the tree, not really hanging off the tree. Very important for a higher end look. And then I am going with these oversized berry picks, and I'm placing them as if they are flowing with the red balls. And the way I am doing this is simply folding that stem. I'm not really placing them straight, but the stem is folded like you're seeing me do with the smaller picks right here. And this will create the illusion that the berries are flowing with the rest of the tree, and almost like if you placed a garland in here. I really do enjoy the monochromatic look in some of the sections of this tree, and I think it looks very, very beautiful.
Just me and a plastic Christmas tree all alone. But this year will be different in so many ways. Now that I've found someone with whom to spend my days. Now I know what Christmas can be like. And now I know what everyone's been talking about.
And in this area of my Christmas tree, I am placing small red ball ornaments. The reason why I'm not going to overfill this area is because I'm saving this for my sentimental ornaments for me and my husband to place later on off camera. He doesn't like being on camera, so it's a tradition we're going to have together this year. But yes, this Christmas tree is going to have my special sentimental ornaments.
I'll give you a kiss underneath the mistletoe. You give me that look that makes me love you so.
And I just want to say this song really hits home for me. That's why I always include it in my, at least one of my Decorate With Me videos for Christmas. Well, I told you earlier, I was not born and raised in the United States. I am an immigrant, and so I do remember the first Christmas that I spent without my family, especially where I come from. Christmas is celebrated big. And so my first Christmas out of my, or away from my family, is not one that I was lonely, but I definitely missed them so, so much. And now that I look back and I see my husband, the beautiful family of in-laws that I have through marriage, my home, our dogs, I feel really, really blessed. And I want you to know that if you are spending this holiday season by yourself, or if you are going through a hard time during this holiday season, let me know. Let me know how I can pray for you. Sometimes some Christmas are a little harder than others, but hopefully we can have a future to look back on it and smile and feel blessed.
Now I know what everyone's been talking about.
I am going to finish off the Christmas tree with some of these stems Just making sure I place them at the very bottom because that area always tends to look a little empty if we don't pay attention to it. And the good thing about it is that I do have my Christmas tree gated. That actually prevents my puppy to get into the Christmas tree, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable about putting those ornaments there. Then to cover the cables, I am going to use these really oversized ornaments that I found at the specialty store. I think they go really well with the theme, and I don't know if you noticed, but I have not used any more candy cane decorations up until below the red bowls. And the reason for that is because I just didn't want to overdo it. Although this Christmas tree is really extravagant, I really loved how it turned out, especially when it's at nighttime with all the lights on. It really does look super magical. And if you enjoyed this Christmas tree decorate with me video and you like this idea, I really hope that you can grab some inspiration and new ideas for your Christmas tree, whether you're doing it candy cane or you using a different style of decor. Thank you so much for being here and for taking time off your day to watch my video and leave me a comment. I really appreciate every single one of you and all the love you give to these videos. Thank you again. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe, and I really hope I can see you in the next one. Bye.